Hey y'all, hey, we are talking about creative financing today. Just so y'all are aware, everybody knows. June, we need to start building portfolios. I don't understand. I can't say this enough. We need to start building a portfolio. We need to start getting ready for what's getting ready to happen on in and around this whole process of America. Okay? Because we are it's that time. I mean, you really have to have a second income. You really have to have something. So what we're going to be talking about this whole month of June, I mean the entire month, every day, all day, is creative financing. Because a lot of you have bad credit, no credit, or it's challenged credit. It's like those where everybody want to talk about now. So we're doing that, and in the process of doing that, I want to get you guys prepared to know that you can still invest in real estate without having great credit. You can still invest in real estate without having a whole lot of money. You can still invest in real estate without even having the bank, without even involving the bank. And a lot of y'all don't know these processes, so I am to share with you today. So grab your pens, grab your papers, and shake your money maker. Shake your money maker like hey, because I might be. You never know. Okay, so we want to. So what we're going to do, how we're going to do this, is we're going to get you into the. We're going to get you into this real estate, this whole real estate vibe. Because I'm ready. I need you guys to get into it. Okay. So first things first. My name is Elisa Robinson. I am y'all's favorite real estate diva out here, slutting it up in these real estate streets. Listen, it's been a long, long time since I started real estate in 1998. That's when I bought my first house, 1998. And let me tell you, that was probably that time and one other time I actually used not a traditional method of getting properties. After that, it was all foreclosure auctions. We did foreclosure auctions. We did HUD. We did tax deeds because we were in New York State. So it's tax deed. And we did it before they went to the auction. So I'll show you a little bit how to get that part done. And we did seller financing. We did one subject to deal where we took over somebody else. And we, because at this time I was married. So what we're doing now is so I'm going to teach you guys those same methods I use to build my real estate portfolio. Like if I can do it here and I can see it here on social media and I can tell you about it, I can definitely show you how to do this and get this done. What I don't want you guys to do is to stress about. I don't need y'all stressed out about none of the stuff. Okay, none of it. None of the things. None of the things. We're gonna get this done. We'll get it right. So grab your pens and papers because I'm gonna go through this. Y'all thought I talked about wholesaling. I am here ready to teach y'all how to get these houses for the cheap and for the actual, not for the cheap, because it's not about just cheap. It's also about making sure that you are not overextending yourselves. Because I've done it before too, where I've overextended myself, and then it's like, what the hell am I doing? So grab a pen, grab a paper. Today we're going to talk about creative financing strategies. And what I mean by that, creative financing strategy, let me explain to you. Anytime you don't go to a bank to acquire funding for your purchase or your renovation or anything that you need to purchase to acquire or renovate a home, that's considered creative. Okay, so bank. I'm just use one bank that everybody knows: Bank of America, Chase. Everybody knows those two banks. Navy Federal Credit Union. Everybody knows that those three. Okay, so those are gonna. When I talk about major banks, major credit unions, that's what I'm going to be talking about. But we definitely get into today is the fact that I want you guys to know and understand that we are we This it's not a game. I can't even afford to play with y'all anymore. And I mean, I get on here and I tell a lot of jokes, but I definitely don't won't tell you a lie. Okay, so we're gonna get with that. Now, first things first. Let me give you a little because I told you. It's been so long since I went to an actual bank and got actual funding for a transaction. And I'm gonna break this down. My very first home that I purchased in 1998, I went through a mortgage broker, and I have some phenomenal mortgage brokers, so I'm not sweating it. Trust me, if you want traditional funding, I will refer you to one of my amazing partners that I refer people to. They're nationwide. I got some that do nationwide every state. I got some that are local to the area that they're in, and I can get you funded. Just know that, okay? Now, the first thing, so when I don't have to go, when I'm not going the traditional route, what I do is I end up using creative financing strategies. Now, creative financing strategies, the most recent one that I used was actually 3 months ago. And I did it where I had $0 out of pocket. Let me just start there. $0 out of pocket. Okay. Now, how did you do that, Delisa? Easy. Because a lot of people come at me saying, how did you do this? How are you doing this with $0 out of pocket? You're not using credit, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. This particular purchase, I did a private lender. This is a person I built a rapport with over some time. And he said, okay, look, I saw you on I think I was on Facebook, in one of the Facebook groups. He said, I saw you in a Facebook group saying that you needed funding. And he actually called me because I said I had clients. I actually had a client who was looking for funding at the time, but the numbers actually didn't work. And he saw my post saying I was looking for a client that was looking for funding. And he's starting to get into that private money lending process where he funds other people's deals. So he asked me, he said, you know anybody that needs funding right now? I said, actually, I could use funding for a project that somebody just called me about that I wanted to purchase, didn't have the cash to do it. He said, tell me the numbers. So I gave him the numbers, did the rundown, we ran numbers. He was like, that's an amazing deal. I know. Now I got to figure out how to fund it. So, and I don't have a whole lot of time, you know. Let me correct myself. I'm sorry. I did come out of pocket $500. $500. That was the earnest money deposit I had to put down. It was a $500. So I did come out of pocket on this one, $500. Now let me explain to you the house. First of all, the house was in foreclosure. The house is in Hamlin Park in Buffalo. Just so you guys know, it's in Hamlin Park in Buffalo. It was in foreclosure, Hamlin Park. I know, trust me when I tell you, I knew how to get around the whole bank and real estate agent and all that. So I use my connections to find out what real estate agent actually had the house. So, and I did it, well, this one I did it two ways. I did it where, you know how you see maintenance people sometimes mowing grass and stuff like that. I'm the type of person, I will stop you and ask you, do you own this house? If I see workers working on a house, who owns this house? Who's your boss? I need to talk to them. So I got into the property management company for the bank. And they gave me the real estate agent's information. And mind you, the house never hit the market. And that's something you guys have to understand. This property never got listed, even though with a real estate agent, it never hit the MLS. It didn't hit the MLS. It didn't hit Zillow, Realtor.com, none of that. Anywhere was it listed for sale. Okay. So just so we clear on how this is working out. So didn't list on sale. Now, so I got in touch with a real estate agent, talked to her. I'm being honest, she wasn't the friendliest person to work with, but she was okay. So then I ended up calling her. We worked out a deal. She, like I said, she was very, very snotty to me. I'm just gonna put it like that. She was very snotty, but And I probably would never work with her again unless she had a great deal and had a crap ton of cash. That's the only way I'll probably work with her again. But she was nasty. I'm just gonna say it like that. She was nasty. And so I talked to her. I was able to negotiate the deal. Now I found out the house was not listed. Let's start there. The auction price, because the house went through the whole auction process, everything was $138,000. The judgment that went in, it went in for $138,000. The house was worth $165,000 as is. Okay, let's be clear. So what I did was I contacted real estate agent. I submitted my offer. I put my offer in. The first offer I put in was for 110. And she was like, no, this, and the other, whatever. She sent me this contract for 110,000. She wanted to put $11,000 down on the EMD. I'm like, sweetheart, that is not what we do. Who's putting $11,000 down? I'm the only person that's trying to buy this house from you. So, because nobody else even knew about the house yet. So, because she didn't market it, she didn't do nothing with it. Okay, so you are aware. Now, so when I got the house, I submitted my offer and everything was cool. She said, okay, great. I did the ED. And then the first funding, because I had a funding source, that first funding fell through because the person ended up not being able to liquidate the funds that they thought they were going to be able to liquidate to purchase the home, to give me the money to purchase that property. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then what I did was I was like, okay, that's not going to work. So then out of the blue, like I said, this guy saw me on Facebook and said, hey, I saw that you were looking at one of your clients, because don't forget, guys, I'm a broker. I deal with a lot of investors. So my investor clients, if they need something, I try to find it for them, because that's what I always say, the one-stop shop. You need funding, I can get you funding. You need an attorney, I can refer you to an attorney. You need a traditional lender, I can find you a traditional lender. So he was like, so I was looking for one of my clients who wanted some funding. So I called, I told him, I said, you know what, my client, his numbers don't work for what you're trying to, with the type of money that you're trying to get out, but I have this other property. I said, okay. So we ran on the numbers. The house currently, as is, was worth 165. The bank was trying to get 138. We ended up putting an offer in at 110. And he got accepted. So the offer went in at 110. The loan that I have to pay back is 129 total. So that rate of 129. And I got to hold it for 7 months. So if you're a flipper, you know what I'm talking about. This is a 7 month, it's for 7 months. So in the meantime, in between time, and I'm going to start posting the pictures and the short videos that we've been taking because we've been working on it. So I'm going to start posting that soon. Okay. Now, and I'm doing a lot of the work myself because it's cosmetic. It wasn't really a lot that had to be done. It's like a light fixture in one room, some paint, carpet, it doesn't need a lot. Okay. And I've decided already that I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to refinance it, pay him back the money that he owed, pay him the 129, which is not going to be 129 by the time I'm done and I get to refinance it. So we're going to refinance that. But like I said, $500 out of pocket. The house is valued currently as is 165. It needs about 56. We're probably put around 60 to 75 because I know what I want to put into it. So we're going to put about 60 to 75 into it. Hear me out. Then the house is going to be worth 265. I've already got it. I already got the numbers. I already got the comps, everything. There is no way they can't tell me that this house is not going to be worth the amount of money that it's worth. It's going to be worth about 265 once it's all done. Okay. Now, I only got to give him back 129. And by the time that time period comes up where he has to be paid, it'll be even less than that. Because I'll give it to you like this. As of February 28th, when we took out the loan. It was 129. I've already paid down 10. I'm already down to 117, and I still have to make my June payment. So, and I'm already down over 10,000. So by the time that comes up, I'm going to be down even less, if not completely paid off already, because that's the wholesaling part. The wholesaling that I'm doing now is to pay that loan off. You get what I'm saying? So it's really not coming out of pocket that way. So you guys get what I'm saying? So when I say that's what we doing, that's what we doing. So I want you guys to understand and know that this can be done. So this is called private money. This is where people give you money to get into your project, and they tell you how much they want back, or you tell them how much you're offering back, and that's how it works. They give it to you for a short period of time. This was 6 months. I only had this loan for 6 months. I paid $500 out of pocket. 500 out of pocket. And what's going to happen, and what's going to happen after the once that 500, I paid 500 out of pocket plus my closing cost. So my closing cost was like 2,200. So we're 27, say 3,000, just to round it all up. $3,000 out of pocket. The house is worth 165. I owed 129. So I already had equity. Even if I wanted to refinance it right away, I got equity. Number one. Number two, we're going to put, maybe I'm just going to budget 75. So 129 and 75. Y'all know I'm mathematically challenged. So 129 plus 75. 75 is the budget. That puts me at 204. The house is going to be worth 265. I already told you that. That gives me a $61,000 profit. And that's if the values of the properties haven't gone up even more once this happens. You know what I'm saying? So I can literally list at my list price. Like I said, if I was to sell it, my list price would have been $249.9. Still to this day in my head is $249.9. But either way, I'm still making a $50,000 profit minimum, a minimum $50,000 profit off with a $3,000 investment. So can you find deals like this? Yes. Can I help you find deals like this? Yes. This is what we teach. This is what I teach. And I say we because inside my Creative Wealth Academy, the one-on-one section is the Momentum Masterclass, and that's where we're working one-on-one together. That's what we teach inside that class. And you learn all this stuff. And I'm digging in the crates. So that's DJ talk for all my DJs out there. I'm digging in the crates, helping you find properties, helping you build your portfolio and doing all the things. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Private money is actually, and this is the thing. Now, private money is when somebody gives you money. Now, I've done private money before in the past. It can go good, it can go bad, it can go beautiful, it can go horrible. And believe me, I've had all four phases where it was good, it was amazing, it was bad, and it was horrible. I've done all four phases because you have to be in a certain space to do private money. You have to be able to make your monthly payments. And I'm saying the monthly payments back to the people. You have to do that. So you need something in place. Now, will I do private? I said it after the first time when it was horrible. I was like, I'll never do private money again. Then I ended up doing it. So I guess I can't say I won't be doing that, but I did it. So let's see. Sorry about that. So what I say in that aspect is there's a right way to do private money and there's a wrong way to do it. Don't do it the wrong way. Now, here are some things that I would tell people not to do with private money. Y'all might be like, why are you starting with private money? Because it's easier to get private money than it is to go to a bank. To be honest with you, we're going to run down some places that you can actually get private money. Now, and I can show you how to be a private money lender as well, if that's something you're interested in doing. Because some of y'all want to invest in real estate, but y'all don't own no property. You just want to, you're in that mind space if you want your money to work for you. Becoming a private lender is a good way to do that. Okay. Now, what we're doing, what's going to happen is, once I pay him back, there's two ways you can do three. There's three ways that you can do private lending and you can actually protect yourself. And this is you as the lender and you as the borrower. Okay? Exactly, Ms. Gladys. You have to pay back that money. And that's like I said, I've been in some horrible situations where it's taken me forever to pay back money. And in one of my cases, I'm paying back money because I didn't want to be the shoddy person that took in people and not paid it back. So yeah, payment plans, you get put on payment plans. You gotta know, you have to have another resource to pay that back. And like I told you guys before, with my divorce and everything else, it went haywire and crazy. Everything was going on. I had somebody steal money from me. I'm telling you, it can go really horrible. But when you are the face that's out there, you are responsible for making sure everybody gets their money back. You are the person that has to be you have to communicate. I'm not the best at that. I'm so busy trying to figure out how I can pay it back that I will lose track and not communicate the proper way. So there are things you have to do. And I tell you that with my whole heart. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you're structured correctly. Make sure you have a secondary process to pay somebody back. And that was my major mistake. I didn't have that secondary. I had it, we lost it. So it's a lot going on. But anyway, now what you have to do, the one thing you want to do, and I tell people, do not do this. When you are borrowing money as a borrower of somebody who has private loans, private money, do not sign deed in lieu. And unless you can, make sure you have that secondary income to make those payments, to make sure that you have a process. You need an exit strategy. And the reason why I say that is this: deed in lieu means this: if you miss a payment and then you miss the late due by date, because everybody has a grace period, and that's just a law when you borrow money or loan money out, you have to give a grace period. Yep, exactly. I'm hoping that too, Miss Gladys. Trust me. So what happens is deed in lieu. If your lender signs deed in lieu, that means if you default on the loan, even by 1 day, they have the right to file a deed, meaning they can take over your house, and they don't have to take you to court. They don't have to get a judgment. They don't have to foreclose on you. You sign deed in lieu. So I mean, they could take your property. All they have to do is file paperwork, and it's over. Now you're really like, why would anybody want to sign that? Because you have an exit strategy. If you have an exit strategy, and I signed deed in lieu for this loan that I just took out. I sure did. And I signed it because I know I have the equity and I have the resources to refinance this deal, even with it not being complete. I know I can refinance it to pay that off. That's why I did the deed in lieu. And that's what I'm telling you. Make sure you have that, because if you do not, you can lose your property. Now, there's another thing where you can do. It's called a confession of judgment. Now, a confession of judgment works differently. It works the opposite of deed in lieu. Deed in lieu, there's a deed on your home. There's a lien on your property. Confession of judgment, you have the option to not have the lien on the property. If I default, they can file and put that judgment against the property so that if you try to sell it, they still pay. That's confession of judgment. Or you go the regular old traditional route where it's like if you go to Bank of America, Chase, or federal, whatever bank you choose. If you go that route, and they will put a mortgage lien on your property. Well, a private lender can do that too. You just have to have you have to have the proper paperwork. That's why I always tell you guys, make sure you get experience, a creative finance experienced real estate attorney. Now, why am I stressing real estate attorney? Because I have somebody right now whose real estate transaction is being handled by a criminal defense attorney who's incorporated. So guess what's not moving? The deal. Because they don't prioritize the real estate, because they're not making as much money on the real estate as they are with the billable hours that they would get on the criminal defense. So yeah. And it might have feeling too, it might just be a favor where they're not charging this person. So they got this person on hold. You hear me? Because if one of my other network attorneys or title companies would have had that, we'd have been closed already. Anyhow. So that's what you do. So you don't want to do deed in lieu. If you can avoid it, you can. If not, you can do mortgage liens. Now, mortgage liens, the lenders don't like mortgage liens. And the reason why the lender doesn't like the mortgage lien is because in order to activate the lien, you have to process a foreclosure. So that's more money out of their pocket. Okay? All right. So today we learned what, boys and girls? Private money. That's what we learned today. We learned all about private money. Bougie Bestie says that's really good. Yeah, that $3,000 out of pocket. So when this happens, well, no, okay, let me go back and break this deal down. So I told you the house is worth 165 as is, or be worth 100,000 more than that when it's finished. So 265. Now, I came out of pocket 500 because I had a lender give 10,000. Another one gave me 3,000. And then, no, I'm sorry. I had a lender who gave me 110, and then another one gave me 3. And then we were able to, and then the interest rate put it up to 129. So that's how it ended up being 129. So I came out of pocket $500 to get the property. And I have a partner who put up the cash for the renovations. So that's how that happened. Yep. So you can do this, and you can get this type of deal. You can do these type of deals all the time. I had a young lady ask me earlier today. She said, can we find these type of properties? I said, these type of properties anywhere. If you're going to get private money, you just have to go. The trick to private money, and I don't want to say a trick because it's not a scam or anything, but the process and the best way to acquire private money, then the best way to handle private money is a deal you negotiate on the front end. The deal you negotiate for the property, then you negotiate the deal for funding. So you need to know what your lender is going to allow. It makes sense. And the reason why I say it that way is you have to know what your lender will allow. So your lender, like my lender, gave me 110, but he wants back 129 actually. So he a total of 110. He wants back 129. And that's just because of some other craziness that okay, whatever. So because he included his attorney's fees in my loan. That's why. So now, and then I had to pay my own closing costs. And that's the thing, when you're doing creative financing, you're going to end up paying a lot of the closing costs. So that's why I tell you, when I tell you guys that you may or may not, it's hard to find a partner. Not really. No, not really. You just have to know. You have to know people. You have to understand people. And you have to know how people are going to operate with you. It's definitely easy to find a partner. It's definitely easy to find a partner. Oops. Everything just fell off my hold. 5 seconds, guys. Here we go. Okay, but no, it's not hard to find a partner. And like Miss Gladys said on Facebook, you definitely have to be in a position to try and pay these people back. And that's the hurting part. Like with my situation, it's like a lot of people depended on me. A lot of people were like, at least I trusted you with this money. And then the get the ban, and so now I'm still paying people back. And I'm not, and I you guys have heard me talk about this. 300 negative $350,000 in the whole, negative $350,000 that was due to be paid out to investors. And you know what? I'm not going to profit from it, but I'm paying it back because it was my face that was out there saying, hey, let's do this and great job and da 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 da. It's me they came and saw when they gave the money, they deposited the checks and this, that, and the other, whatever. I'm the one who signed the agreement with them. So I am making sure everybody gets paid back. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would, but it's happening. And just an update, anybody is listening. I am working on deals right now, and I have 3 deals right now. And I kid you not, if these 3 deals work out the way I want them to work out, every single person, every single last one of my investors will be paid off in full, including the money the guy just borrowed the 110,000 from. Right? Good job. So that's where we're at with that. Now, on to bigger and better. This month is June. We're going to be talking about creative financing strategies. I just broke down private money for you guys. I'm going to talk more and more about private money going forward. I'm also going to talk about seller financing. I'm going to talk about lease options. We're going to be talking about Airbnb because a lot of y'all are like, what about Airbnb? What about Airbnb? Y'all got to understand. Now, and I might do Airbnb tomorrow. I've had 3 people in the last 30 days call me and say, hey, Delisa, can I rent your Airbnb? Let me explain what happened. Once Airbnb was up here and everybody was talking about Airbnb and Airbnb, everybody was doing it, everybody was teaching it, everybody was going crazy over Airbnb. And then these landlords started getting hit because we were all doing arbitrage. Now, what I tell people all the time, you can do arbitrage, but now that they are changing the rules and regulations and the way that Airbnb can actually be done, you have to make sure you are working within those parameters, because if you are not, you will get screwed. And you will be held holding a bag for an apartment. First of all, you might not have been able to do that. Can we get the website in the chat? Website for what, sweetheart? I'm not exactly sure, Rashawn, what you were asking me. Which website? And a lot of people are asking about, when you ask about the Airbnb, their rules and regulations have changed. My number one rule with Airbnb is don't just have your property listed on Airbnb. You have to have it on Vrbo. You have to have it on Booking.com. You have to have it on Furnish Finder. You have to have it somewhere else besides Airbnb, because Airbnb is, oh baby, yeah. Airbnb is so crazy. The company Airbnb, they are so pro guest, that the property managers and the Airbnb owners will always get screwed over. I kid you not. So many different times that I hear so many different horror stories. That's why there are rules and regulations on how you operate this Airbnb thing. I'm telling you, because if you don't, you will get to a point where you are screwed over. So be careful with that Airbnb stuff. That's my final thing on that. You want the host of the Airbnb course? Let me see. Let me see. Which one? One-on-one or the the 2? Sorry about that, guys. So I have to know which one you want for, because I can do the one I can do, or I can do the toolkit. The toolkit is different from that. And like I said, last month we beat Airbnb, not Airbnb, wholesaling. So I taught you guys last month how to wholesale real estate. If you took those classes and you went through those steps, you should have been able to close. I kid you not. You should have been able to close it. So this month is all about creative financing strategies. I want you to be able to know what to do with the Airbnb. I mean, the wholesaling. See, I'm stuck on Airbnb now, so I got to stop saying that. With the wholesaling money, that's the transition that people are trying to get into. You get people who wholesale, normally it's because they don't have credit, and they need to stack a lot of cash really quick. And that's my situation. I need to stack a lot of cash. And it's not that I'm going to be stacking it, I'm going to be paying it out, because like I just told you, I got $140,000 left, 350 that needs to be paid out. And then I just added another 129 on top of that. So I got about $250,000 that I need to pay out. That's why. So when I tell y'all it's getting grimy out here, it's getting grimy out here. And but you have to be in a situation where you can actually pay it off. You can actually do the things that you say you're going to do. Because if not, like I said, it can go left really fast. Now, we talked about wholesaling last month. That's what you're going to do if you don't have any credit and you don't have any cash. Okay? And Brashawn, that's why you need to wholesale. He said he's looking to buy a course, but his money is tight right now. Will buy in the near future. That's why you should be wholesaling real estate. So for those of you who can't afford a course, go to the YouTube channel. It's Delisa Robinson, the Real Estate Diva. There's a crap ton of videos on here where you can actually start watching some of those videos for free. On your free of charge. Okay. Now, the situation with, like I said, no credit. It's either no credit, bad credit, and no cash. Those are the people who wholesale. But they don't wholesale forever. If you notice, 3-4 years ago, people who were wholesaling, they were getting, once they got to a certain level, they started flipping. Then they started doing new construction. They started buying multifamilies. Then they started buying holding. So there's a process that you have to go through, and you take what you can learn. You can start wholesaling with $0. You can build a portfolio. I just told you, I got a whole house for $500. $500 because I use private money. Now, let's talk other ways that you can do it on the cheap, which would still be building a portfolio. There are ways to do it, but there's right ways to do it. And that's the problem. A lot of you are out here and you will take a 15-minute video on YouTube and think you know how to practice, and you really don't. Okay? So I'm gonna need y'all to stop doing that. All right? Now, in celebration, because we celebrating my birthday month. Now, if you know me, and you guys know me, because I'm going live, I've been live streaming on Facebook since 2016, probably 2016. When I first got my real estate license in 2016, I've been live streaming since then. And I've live streamed everything I could possibly live stream in regards to housing. And like I tell you, first thing first, I don't try to teach you anything that I don't know. I will never do that. So don't ask me about the stock market, because I'm just going to refer you to somebody. Don't ask me to repair your credit, I'm just going to refer you to somebody. Don't ask me about buying an apartment building or managing an apartment complex or anything like that, because guess what? I have not bought an apartment complex yet. Yes, but it's coming. Coming soon. Because I literally, my year ends on June 4th. Those of you, like I said, if you know me, you've been following me anytime, you guys know that my year ends on June 4th every year. My birthday is June 5th, and that's when I celebrate my new year. That's when I celebrate what I call Happy New Year. So y'all gonna see a bunch of Happy New Year posts. Y'all gonna see me going wild and crazy on there, and everything goes, because that's what I do. I celebrate my new year. Now, What I will say in the meantime, in between time, because y'all love to come on out and celebrate the girl. For the month of June, we'll have celebrations all month long. We'll have little pop-ups. You're going to be getting text messages. You're going to get emails. You're going to be getting all kinds of things. So if you're on the email list, you can check your emails. If you're going to be on the pop-up list, join these live streams, because we might be randomly saying, hey, guess what? As you be here this while, I'm gifting you this. So just know the whole entire month of June, and you guys know me because I do this every year. I've given out one-on-one coaching. And I'm talking about 90 days worth of coaching on teaching people how to get to the real estate game. I've done that before. And I hate to say it, but y'all don't respect free. Because the people, I kid you not, I put her in, I put her on. I was coaching this girl, everything else. And I felt like I was more or less her therapist than I was her real estate coach. And I was like, she wasn't ready for this one-on-one. Somebody else could have had this spot that was ready for it. Oh, thank you. Yep. Say happy birthday every day this month, because I do celebrate the entire month of June, even though my birthday is on the 5th. But I will celebrate the entire month. Now, what we are going to do, and I want y'all to know this. So what we are going to do, and what we're going to do is work out. I'm getting ready to get up off of here in a minute, because I still have to eat dinner, and I still want to clean up. I didn't do any cleaning. So I do cleaning and a load of laundry. And Happy New Year. That's right. Happy New Year. It will be June 5th. Will be Happy New Year. Believe me, it's gonna be on popping. Now, I probably won't live stream that day, which is so crazy. Well, no, I am. If I'm gonna be early in the day, because I'm off. So for you, that's what I want to do. Some calendar updates. My calendar is updated for those of you who are in one-on-one coaching. The June calendar has been released as of today. Go in and schedule your appointments. Schedule your appointments. You will, the only days this month so far that you will not be able to schedule anything is June 5th through the 8th. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. I'm back to work on taking this weekend off. I'm not doing any work. I'm not showing any houses. I've already made arrangements. I've already contacted all my clients and told them this is what it's going to be. Just so y'all know. Now, don't get me wrong. I might do a little haha. But if I'm on the move, I'm telling y'all now, I probably won't be streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, only because they don't allow me to do that on the move. So I'll probably Instagram. I am going to be out and about this weekend, not celebrating my birthday, also about looking at houses for some of my clients that are not in the but never look at client houses for them. So that's about it. But as far as the coaching phone calls and stuff like that, I'm not doing any of that work. And that's network weekend. It's the new year. It's New Year's weekend, so we can't do that. Now, if you guys, like I always tell y'all, if y'all have any questions, please put your comments and all your concerns in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to try and comment. But like I said, a $500 investment is getting a $61,000 profit. So to answer the young lady who inboxed me this morning, yes, I can find you houses that you can do that with too. Yes, I can find you houses where you don't have to go to the bank and get you any money out of pocket. I can do it. I don't brag about what I do. I'm good at what I do, though. And I know I can get it done. And I'm not stopped until I have added, because this is the goal. I keep telling you, y'all think I'm playing. But I'm telling y'all, the goal for me is to add 20 doors this year to my portfolio. The goal for me is to have, it's all about 20 doors. I need 20 wholesalers to hit $100,000. So that's going to be $2 million. And I need 20 investors to hit 7 figures in their real estate portfolio. Now, when we say 7 figures in a real estate portfolio, that's on paper, ladies and gentlemen. That means $1 million worth of real estate. Now, can I find it for you? Absolutely. I can find you one building that's worth $1 million. but that's not what we're doing. I can do that, and I can do some other things too. Now, in the meantime, between time, I am still wholesaling, but you will not hear me talking about wholesaling a whole lot. So if you are interested in wholesaling, hit my DMs and let me know what you need me to do. Send me a message on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Send me a message and we can discuss the ins and outs of the wholesaling. We can talk about what it is that you need so that you can get the wholesaling training that you need. That's number one. Number two, we will be building portfolios. You are going to hear something that strikes your interest. Tomorrow, I will probably be on here, talk a little bit more about private money. We're going to talk about how you can work private money to your Airbnb business. I have a client, I have a one-on-one client right now who's building a condo portfolio. She's buying up condos in Atlanta. Yeah. And she's turning them into Airbnbs. Yep, we found 2 buildings, just 2 so far. I'm just gonna say 2 so far. There's a possible third that I just heard about, so I gotta talk to her about that one too. But there's 2 possible 3. Sound like I'm playing spades right now. 2 possible 3. Private wants 20%. That's what they want on the return on their investment. Some of them don't want that much though. Bougie Bestie did. Some of them don't want that much money back. Mine is just money hungry, and he knew I was in a situation where I had just lost my funding, so he hit me with a 20% interest rate. That's the only reason I'm doing that. Like I said, if I could have found a different option on that short of a notice, it wouldn't have been about him at all. 20% down? No. Private money, they don't want anything down. I mean, if you was gonna put something down, I mean, just private money, if you was gonna put something down, you should have went to the bank. No, private lenders don't want anything down. Higher money loans want something down. And we'll talk about that this week too. This month, we're going to talk about higher money loans, lease options, seller financing, tax liens, tax deeds, Airbnb. We might touch on wholesaling a little bit because there's a way for you to wholesale all of these types of creative financing strategies. And we're going to talk a lot about having your business set up the correct way, because a lot of you are not able to get funding for your business because you're not set up correctly the right way. So we're going to talk about that too. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run up out of here because a lot of things happen when the streets are asleep, when I'm asleep, should say. And like I said, I need to eat because I think I had a piece of red velvet cake that I made with my granddaughter on Saturday. So I had a piece of red velvet cake, well, 2 pieces of red velvet cake, and a cup of tea. That's all I ate today, and I'm starting to get a headache because I didn't eat a whole lot yesterday either. So I'm starting to get this headache that I normally get when I don't eat. So I'm getting ready to go downstairs, find me something to eat, probably some tuna salad. I know I made a good tuna salad today. So I'm going to make me a plate of tuna salad and some fried fish. And then I am going to get back on this computer because it's a lot of work that I have to do today as well. So don't forget, I still have properties available. I have a single family, I have 4 bedrooms, 1 bath, single family home in Syracuse for sale. It's listed on Zillow. 119 is the asking price. It is currently occupied. She can stay and increase her rent, or she can move. It's up to whoever buys the house. What's the average interest rate on a private loan? Average interest rate, believe it or not, on a private loan is like 9%. It's like 9-10%. That's usually what people get. So they would usually get 9 to 10% return on their investment. And the one thing I can say about my private lender that I'm using right now, I like the way he did this. Instead of doing it as a 9% APR, he just did a flat rate, 20% is his flat rate. And that's what you have to, pay back. So there's no prepayment penalty. You're going to pay, no matter when you pay it back, you're paying back the same amount regardless. And that, I like that because, and honestly, because I actually have private lending on my vision board for 2026. And when I do get into it, I'm going to get into it like that. And that's what it is about. I'm going to get into it like that. So That's where we are. That's what we're doing. And that's pretty much what it is. So, with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. Have a great night, everybody. Remember, I always tell you guys, you can choose to be anything you want in this world. Just hope you choose to be kind. Because everybody, as long as, because somebody's been good to you at some point in your life, and you can pay kindness forward. It makes you a good person. If we all do, the world a much better place. Also, if this is your first time, don't let it be your last time. If you haven't, and if you have been here before, thank you so much for always out. And tomorrow, I can't remember the day I can't remember the time, but tomorrow I think around the 1:00 p.m. time. I'll let you know, guys, because I usually post it first thing in the morning to let you know what time I'm going to be on. So we talk to you mañana. Bye bye.